Hello and welcome to Maths with Jacob. This lesson will focus on quadratic polynomials, part 5. A special puzzle to warm up the brain cells is on the next slide. The answer will be given at the end. Enjoy. What is the meaning of the following? Good luck with it and see how you go. Positive definite. Consider the quadratic polynomial y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. If we have that y is greater than 0 for all values of x, then the quadratic polynomial is said to be positive definite for all values of x. In this case, a is greater than 0 and the discriminant is less than 0. Let's consider this specific example here. We can see that a is greater than 0 because it's 1. Therefore, the parabola has this orientation. When we work out the discriminant, we substitute the values of a, b and c in. We can see that the discriminant is negative 16. That's less than 0. Hence, the parabola is above the x-axis. It does not come into contact with it. Negative definite. Consider the quadratic polynomial, again, the general form. If we have that y is less than 0 for all values of x, then the quadratic polynomial is said to be negative definite for all values of x. In this case, a is less than 0 and the discriminant is less than 0. For example, let's consider this function here. We can see that a is less than 0 because it's negative 3, so the parabola has that orientation. We can see that the discriminant, when we work it out, b squared minus 4ac, is negative 8, so the parabola is below the x-axis. Indefinite. If we have that y is greater than 0 or y is less than 0 for all values of x, then the quadratic polynomial is said to be indefinite for all values of x. In this case, a is greater than 0, and the discriminant is also greater than 0. Here's our general form. Consider this specific example here. We can see that a is greater than 0 because it has the value of 1. So the parabola has this orientation. We can also see that the discriminant, b squared minus 4ac, is 4. In other words, the parabola cuts the x-axis in two places, so the y values are either positive or negative. If we have that y is greater than 0 or y is less than 0 for all values of x, then the quadratic polynomial is said to be indefinite for all values of x. But in this particular case, a is less than 0 and the discriminant is greater than 0. The general form, we consider the specific example here. You can see a is less than 0 because it's negative 1. See there? The discriminant b squared minus 4ac comes out to be 9, and that's why the parabola cuts the x-axis in two places. It has that orientation, and the y values are either positive or negative for all values of x. One example showing how we can use the definite rule. If we are given a quadratic equation where the constant c is unknown, we can work out what values of c can exist to make the equation positive definite. For what values of c is 2x squared plus 5x minus c positive definite? The solution? For the function to be positive definite, we must have the following two conditions. A has to be greater than 0 and the discriminant is less than 0. So if b squared minus 4ac is less than 0, we have b squared minus 4 times a times negative c, because it's actually negative c here, has to be less than 0. If we simplify that, we get 25 plus 8c is less than 0. 8c is less than negative 25, so c has to be less than minus 3 1/8. For this to be positive definite. And we know that it's positive definite because see here the value of a, that's 2, which is greater than 0. So the important thing here is that c must be less than minus 3 1/8 for this function here to be positive definite. Here's a quick quiz to help you. Please check through the video at any time. The answer to the puzzle. What is the meaning of the following? Dark under the eyes. And the answers to the quick quiz and the video is at your disposal.